Turns out I do have a technical issue here. What in the hell? How's that happen? That's weird. Strangeness. There we go. Microphone stand was falling apart on me unexpectedly, but there we go. Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing great. Thank you so much, and sorry for the late start here. Just got sidetracked on a couple of things, so I'm with it now, I hope. And welcome everybody to the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas, and this is our adventures into the worlds of strange and unusual stuff, because that's where we live. Gordo is in the portal. Whoop whoop. Who's Gordo? Gordo? Who is Gordo? I don't know. No, I don't speak gibberish unknown, but I'm working on it. I certainly struggling enough with English as it is. So other languages, well, doing my best. Good to see everybody, though. We got a lot of fun and paranormal hijinks to get to throughout the course of the show tonight. As always, we're, of course, going to get to the news. And we got a lot of things to hit there. I got 3 articles pulled up for the news. And that, you're right, it isn't. Thank you, Deborah. I'm telling you what, Wednesdays are the toughest days for me to do streams. And it's because I'm coming from life. When I do the Wednesday and then Friday, Saturday, I'm bouncing. I only miss a day in between. So I kind of got the rhythm of things. But I don't know what it is between Saturday night show and then Wednesday. I'm all just like, what do I got to do? What's my job? I don't remember. It's weird. So I forget more than I remember. It's 18th already. All right, March 18th. Wow. I should know that, but I usually don't. I don't usually know what date it is unless I look at my phone or on my computer. I'm just absolutely not aware of most of it. Like you always say, Brent, you're here exactly when you should be. Yeah. Well, actually, Gandalf said that, but I kind of stole it from him. But good to see you all. Thank you all for coming in and being a part of the journey. As I said, we're going to do the news. Then we're going to get to a list verse article. And then we're going to get to a boatload of, what the hell is that? Rachel sent me a video, and it's creepy. It creeps me out. I was creeped out by that one. It's this wax figure, but it's a wax figure that's not just being a wax figure. It's very unnerving. I don't know. I liked it. I liked it a lot, but it was like one of those is like, I was watching, I was like, what am I looking at? I was like, oh, it was a good one. So I'll be excited to share that one with you, as well as several other video and photos that we're going to go through for that segment. And then we're going to get to the cryptid corner and round it all off with some cryptid stuff. Okay, so I guess the elephant in the room right now is the Patterson-Gimlin stuff, and the great challenge that's surfaced suddenly from Roger's son, who's 60 years later, claiming that it's fake. And there's apparently video evidence of some dress rehearsal that was done with a uniform, and which included breasts. I don't know. Ken Gerhardt actually broke it down pretty well, at least the whole thing about reserving judgment. There's a lot of people like, I knew it was fake. I knew it. Nobody's seen this damn thing yet. I mean, all we have is these claims. Some people may have seen it in an early screening or whatever. I don't know. Here's the thing. It's like there's a lot of questions about this. Why now? Why suddenly? What is important about this? That it waited all this time. I don't know. It's just really weird turn of events, and it just feels off to me. I just don't know. I'm kind of reserving judgment about it because I know Bob. I've met Bob. I love Bob, and I looked in that man's eyes as he told me his story, and he's the most sincere, genuine guy I've ever met in my life, and I just don't believe that he was dialed in on this. I just don't. I don't know what's possible. I mean, certainly, do you ever really know somebody well? Maybe not, but I try to consider myself a pretty good judge of character. Now, could he have embellished it? Maybe, I don't know. But they did provide this proof. Thinker Thunker did a great breakdown of it. Bill Munn's creator of, in Hollywood for the Planet of the Apes said we couldn't have done it back then. Although all kinds of experts are coming forward saying, no, they could have done it back then. Maybe they could, maybe, I don't know. I mean, it would have been a really expensive suit if they could have pulled it back together again. But apparently, as far as I know, they didn't have the materials. There wasn't that kind of materials available. Then there's a million questions. I like the Patterson-Gimlin film. I think it stands as some of the greatest potential evidence we have. Could I be wrong? Sure, anybody could be, but I will tell you that there are many witnesses who've come forward saying, well, that's what it looked like. What I saw, that's exactly what it looked like that I saw. And these are people that claim to have had face-to-face encounters with a Bigfoot. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just a whole host of things. Ken Gerhardt also brings up the extended trackway, which shows these very organic variations in tracks over a period of footsteps that couldn't be done with just a consistent mold of a foot. So I don't know. I just all I can say is just don't be one of those people. If somebody says something on the internet, you're like, I knew it's fake, because we don't know. Do you know it's real? No. I mean, honestly, Bob and Roger and Patty are the only ones that know if it's real or not. All these fringe characters that have come and gone through this whole thing, I don't know. There's been about thousands of claims against it since it came out, and I gotta believe that these guys had something special happen, just the right place at the right time, that lightning moment, and so be it. Does it seem like it's potentially an orgy of evidence that they were going to go out with a 8mm camera or 16, whatever it was, and film a Bigfoot, and they actually filmed a Bigfoot? The odds are really against it, honestly, organically, but could it happen? Yeah. So I don't know. You be the judge. I think it's real. I really do. AI has been around now to fake evidence that might debunk old claims. Yeah, exactly. And I just, there's just so many questions about this. Why now? Why was this film sitting in a vault for 60 years? Of the vault of a person that had no rights to it. And it was just sitting in his vault for 60 some years or whatever. And suddenly now it's coming out like, hey, guess what? Along with the claims from allegedly Roger's son, where Roger apparently admitted it wasn't real. I don't know. Anybody's guess. Could it be real? Yeah. Could it be wrong? Could it be hoaxed? Sure, anything can be. But just suspend judgment until we can all look at it, until all the facts come out, is my point. Too many people are jumping on their side, like it's all this or it's all this. Again, you believe what you want. It doesn't move the needle much in any regard, other than it would be a tragedy if it did somehow come out that it wasn't real, because this has been a pinnacle moment, and it really did help to substantiate the subject matter for a nation of people here in the U.S. So I hope it's real. I really do. I do have a confirmation bias, but it comes from not only the quality of the film and what they captured, but also the fact that I've had the rare pleasure and honor of sitting down with Bob and talking about it. And I love Bob. He's just that guy. So I have a hard time believing that he took decades of shots. He and his wife and family took decades of shots for standing up and supporting something that would have been real easy for him to go, all right, guys, it's not real. It wasn't real. And it would have all went away. I mean, it would have been embarrassing for him, but it would have all went away. But still, he stood there and took him. He took him on the chin for all that time. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what comes of it. So that's all I'm going to address with that. It is the elephant in the room right now. I think it's real too. Yeah, I do too, Karen. I think a lot of us do. Elaine says she does. Is it 16? Well, it's either 8 or 16, Rachel. The original. I don't remember which. I know were both popular cameras. But we'll find out eventually, at least what the claims are. And even then, are they valid? I don't know. I didn't know Roger's son. I don't know him. I can't validate his character or the character of the person who put together the documentary. And but again, it's been probably the most consistently attacked piece of evidence, and it still stands up after all this time, after all those attacks of people just salivating to make it fake. So it still stands. So we'll see. That's where we're going to leave that, because that's all I can say. All right, guys, we're going to get to done news and dig into this. Start the festival of fun here on the Paranormal Portal with a bang. And that bang is the news. It's time for the news. Here we go. Let's get to the news.
All the news you love, from the wild to the weird to the fascinating or interesting, with your host Brent Thomas.
Oh yeah, I got to turn my camera. I should say that a lot of the points that I just brought up in support of waiting is things that Ken Garrett articulated. I think he did a beautiful job of this post, and yeah, I mean, hell, there it is. There we go. It's the water. All right, I think I'm ready. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Portal News. This is where we explore news and information, fun stuff, not political, not high-strung, vitriolic, the line in the sand of normal news. This is the news that's more up our alley. Either it's technically interesting.
Company.
It's company. We got good company here. The Ghost Box said company. This is the Ghost Box right here. This green thing down here, it has a word database in it that fires off sometimes, and very rarely. Other times it gets chatty as hell, but it said company. We got good company. Welcome to the company of the Paranormal Portal News. And we're going to get to the stories that I've drummed up for us tonight. Remember, throughout the course of the show, I utilize a lot of different websites. Please support these sites. They are incredible. They're amazingly well done. These sites are getting it right. They're just nailing it. So, Dog Digger says 3-lettered agencies involved, my guess. Yeah, maybe. That could be all meant to divide. That wouldn't surprise me right now, Dog Digger, honestly, because, and I don't mean to be random and jumping around here, but I think that's a good thing to address, is because there does seem to be a huge push right now in our society, or in our sociology. There are people that are absolutely hell-bent to keep us divided, to keep us adversarial to each other, to keep us apart. And I don't know why. But apparently they like us focused on distrust of each other, and that's really tragic. Unfortunately, the Bigfoot community does that all by itself without much encouragement. There's a lot of infighting going on in there all the time. So, all right, let's get to it. Let's get to the news. So here we go. We're going to start with, of course, an amazing site that we've utilized throughout almost the whole history of the news. And this is unexplained-mysteries.com. And this is an incredible site, folks. Please support them. And their article, the first one we're going to cover, From the World of the Bizarre. Here you go. You're looking forward to the robots everywhere. Some of them might be dicks. I'm just saying. There might be dick robots out there, because we get this story from China. From the World of the Bizarre, unexplained-mysteries.com. Robot is arrested by police after harassing a woman in China. They arrested a robot. Get over here. We're going to unplug you. There you go. Let's see what happened. Humanoid Unitree G1 robot was escorted away by police recently after it had been following a pedestrian. A scenario that could easily be mistaken for something out of a science fiction movie played out on the streets of Macau, China, this week. According to reports, a 70-year-old woman had gotten quite a scare when she turned around to discover that a humanoid Unitree G1 robot had been following her. Oh. A viral clip of the altercation shows the robot standing in front of her with its arms in the air while the woman shouts angrily and points her hand at the contraption while carrying a bag of groceries. Excuse me. When police attended the scene, she complained of feeling unwell and had to be taken to a hospital. The robot, meanwhile, was escorted away by 2 officers. A short while later, the woman stated that she wasn't going to file a complaint against the robot's operator, who, as it happened, had apologized for causing any distress. It isn't clear why the robot had been following the woman in the first place. The strange series of events could serve as a glimpse of things to come, a sneak peek into a future where robots are commonplace, and in which humans must learn to accept and interact with them. Question is, are we ready for such a future? Only time will tell. Well, let's watch this. This is from the news.com.au, so it's from Australia. Let's see what they did. What happened? What's going on with this robot? Here we go. We're going to watch it now. There it goes. Bad boys, what you gonna do? There you go. Don't mess around. He's just going goal. You know, he's doing goal. I don't know. Or they're a married couple and he's reincarnated as a robot. But anyway, there it is. I love this shot. He's being escorted away by the police. That's the learning curve I guess we can all look forward to. Anyway, there you go. That's the first article. Didn't know that before today, did you? Well, there you go. Now you know. Robots raising hell over in China. All right, let's go to the next one. We're going to go to unexplained-mysteries.com from their archaeology and history files. Hopefully this isn't real long. No, it's okay. Interestingly enough, the surface of the earth has obviously changed pretty drastically. Like, there's a lot of places in the continental U.S. which were ocean. They were like on the seafloor, and there's all kinds of crazy fossil areas like in Utah and the Dakotas, and I'm sure other areas where they're, finding fossils of deep ocean creatures embedded in the bedrocks and stuff. And so, I mean, obviously the world today that we know is not the one that used to exist. So it's quite a bit different, but all right, here we go. From unexplained-mysteries.com, archaeology and history files. This is a new one. Region now lost to the sea was once home to forests thriving with wildlife. Man, it's tough to believe, isn't it? During the last ice age, a long-lost landmass once bridged the gap between the UK and mainland Europe. Known as Doggerland, the vast prehistoric landscape once stretched across what is now the North Sea. I'm going to turn off the zoom capture here because we don't have anybody captured. Nobody to capture today. And it was a sprawling expanse of land inhabited by mammoths and other ancient beasts. Doggerland wasn't just an expanse of open plains either. It even had its own forests, which were home to wild boar, deer, bear, and aurochs. At the end of the last ice age, as glaciers retreated and sea levels rose, the land was slowly swallowed by the encroaching waters. What remained fragmented into a chain of islands before vanishing entirely beneath the waves. Much of what we know as Doggerland comes from fossils and sediment samples retrieved from the sea floor, offering scientists a glimpse of what this long-lost region must have been like. Excuse me. Most of the recent research, which looked at DNA samples retrieved from sediment, showed that Doggerland's forest environments may have been present as recently as 16,000 years ago. Wow. It's crazy to think that the Ice Age has changed the landscape that much. And it wasn't inundated with water until around 6,000 years ago. Ooh. Which is around 1,000 years later than previous research had suggested. And during their study, scientists discovered evidence of trees that tend to favor warmer climates, suggesting that Doggerland saw quite mild conditions at the time. Clearly, there's a lot more to this long-lost region than anyone had realized. How about that? Do you imagine? I mean, there's some suggestion that at one point Antarctica was tropical before it became a big mountain of ice that had, underneath it all, maybe there was a ancient forests and stuff. And was that a polar shift? I think probably. But 6,000 years ago? Does that sound right? That's pretty crazy. What caused it to just suddenly just dump into the sea? Maybe it's just the straw that broke the camel's back sort of thing, like enough tectonic shifting and then suddenly it was like, boom, there goes Doggerland. Maybe something like that, but however it worked, that's crazy. The world's changing, even today. Yeah, pole shift, Yeshua says. Hi, Brent. Hello, Benno. Good to see you, man. Had to look up aurochs, learn something new. Well, you're welcome. I think I've heard of them. They're like a deer creature, aren't they? I'm assuming, as I recall, but let me know, T-Bone, if that's what an auroch is. Good evening to you, Jason Finch. Thanks for coming in, brother. Good to see you. All right, 'tis a fancy cow, T-Bone. Is that what an auroch is? Okay, it's more like a cow. Gotcha. Oops, 420, I'm losing it. It's not even 320 yet. Anyway, I'm looking at the date kind of thing. All right, that was interesting. I didn't know that about there being a landmass connecting the UK with Europe. I'd be kind of cool if it was still there, but maybe it's a good thing it's not. Maybe it's nice that they had that buffer because, I don't know. If the UK was crazy, then the Europeans were protected. If the Europeans were crazy, the UK was kind of protected. So there you go. Most of my ancestry comes from the UK, so long line of Brittany in me, I guess. All right, that was the second article. We got one more to go, so let's get to that. Here we go. The third article rather. This one's kind of interesting. I don't know. Maybe it's more. Maybe it's more normal knowledge. Maybe it's not a earth-shattering, breathtaking revelation, but I think it's kind of cool. Although I know that whatever happens, they're going to use this to explain the advent of life, and maybe there's merit to it. But at any rate, here we go from the last article of tonight from unexplained-mysteries.com, Space and Astronomy Files. Asteroid sample contains all the building blocks of DNA and RNA. There you go, right in there. This is maybe our most fundamental makeup. We are all piles of rubble. We came from piles of rubble, folks. Material collected from the asteroid Ryugu, yeah, I guess that'd be right, Ryugu, has bolstered the idea of the building blocks of life arrived on Earth from space. Part of the Japanese Space Agency's Minerva 2-1 program, the Hayabusa 2 probe, launched all the way back in 2014 and arrived in orbit around the asteroid Ryugu in 2018. During its mission, the probe collected several samples of rocks and soil that were then sent back to Earth for study inside of a small capsule. These arrived safely in 2020, and scientists have been studying them ever since. Now the most recent study of the samples has revealed that Ryugu was home to all of the essential ingredients of DNA and RNA. What's more, the same building blocks were also found recently on the asteroid Bennu as well. This means that the building blocks of life are likely to be commonplace throughout the solar system, and that the emergence of life on Earth may have relied upon space rocks such as Ryugu to deliver the necessary ingredients even if life didn't actually arise directly on the asteroids themselves. It also suggests that the same building blocks of life would likely have made their way to moons and planetary bodies across our solar system, such as Mars, Europa, Enceladus, and perhaps then the question of where life might have arisen in the universe centers upon not only the conditions of a given world, but also the availability of asteroids and comets carrying the essential building blocks to make life possible. Which is fantastic, but I would have to interject that right now my kitchen has all the building blocks of a cake. Every bit of what I would need is in the cupboards and in the fridge and in various places in my kitchen. Now, if I took my kitchen and just rolled it up and smashed it and did all kinds of crazy stuff to it, maybe lit it on fire a little bit and sprinkled water on it, I'm betting I'm never getting a cake, no matter what I do. So even though things like this are stated, like, oh yeah, all the building blocks were there, sure, maybe, but it still doesn't give you life. I mean, there's something more than just the Legos of life. I mean, there's something more to this. So anyway, there you go. I don't know. That's my take. I don't know what you guys think, but do you think just because asteroids may have RNA and DNA components, that means that is how life happened? I tend to believe there's a consciousness behind this. It all seems way too balanced and perfect, and the equilibrium is so precise throughout the universe to, support so many elements in balance and stuff, that if it was just random, I just can't imagine it would be such a perfect concert of balance and synchronicity or syncopation or whatever. Any words that you want to throw at it. That's my take. I don't know. I just believe that there's more to it than this. Than just, hey, let's throw the eggs and the flour into a bowl and just I don't know, roll it down the stairs and we should have a cake. Got to add the sugar and the frosting and all that stuff. But yeah, that's not quite how it works. Having the building blocks, I suppose, is important because, even the religious examples suggest that, people may have been formed from, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, that kind of thing. That we were formed from the world and our bodies will return to it, but there's more to it at any rate. I don't know. I don't mean to get too philosophical, and God bless you, whatever your ideas of that are. But I just think it's important to note that, this kind of take on the advent of life and the emergence of complex organisms that grew more and more complex, which would seem in contrast to the entropy, the law of entropy, which would suggest that complex things will eventually degrade into less complex things. That is the law of entropy, which is part of the thermodynamics umbrella. And I don't know, seems like life went the other way, right? But that's just me. What do I know? Which is probably not much, but there you have it. That's my thoughts. All right, here we go. Let's call this a good visit to the Paranormal Portal News. I hope you guys learned something. Hope you enjoyed the articles, had a good time with it, and learned something new. If you learn something new, then I'm doing my job, which is always good. So there we go. Let's get back to the rest of the show. We got a lot more ground to cover. Hey, Justin Good Earth. Hey, Big D. Hey, Car Juice. All you guys over on Rumble. I said hello to Dog Digger before. I haven't seen Barbara in here, have you? I have not seen Barbara tonight. Okay. But whatever's going on, there it is. All right, let's get back to the rest of the show. It's time to rock and roll.
When breaking news happens, Paranormal Portal is there.
It's not looking so good out here, Brent.
Award-winning and most trusted news.
Brent, the thief broke into the donut shop in the middle of the night. Be on the lookout. The man is in his late 60s, heavy set, and wearing some kind of hat.
First, live, local.
Is this a paranormal show? Why am I doing the weather?
This is Paranormal Portal News.
Oh, yeah, buttons. Oh, yeah, I got buttons. There we go. All right. Some kind of hat face, purple crime. That wasn't me. Just saying. Wes said that's not me. It's not me. Anyway. Well, here we are with the rest of the show. It's time. Everybody having a good night. Hey, Jeremy. Good to see you guys. Good to see all you guys. Adventures with Beth, Maggie, The Oceans. Good to see you. Benno's here. Stickulg is here. 420 Man from the West is here. Good to see all you guys. Chucky Danger's in the house. Excellent. Jose is here. Yeshua is here. Aggravated Progressive is here. T-Bone is here. Maggie is here. Sharon Sunshine is here. I'm looking for new names. Got a lot of chatting going on. You guys are just busy. A lot of Sharon Sunshine. Did I say that already? If not, hello. But if I already said it, hello again. Shane Gord is here. The Gord's in the house. Lives in Utah. Gotcha. Lives in Utah. I like Utah. Utah is a pretty cool state. It's kind of beautiful when you drive in from the north down to like Vernal. You go through all those fossil fields and look at those mountains surrounding you. It's pretty breathtaking. Yeah, always something. Let's see. Any other names? I think I got most everybody that's been talking lately. So sorry if I've missed anything in the chats. It's kind of hard to read articles and to acknowledge everything going on. But I hope I haven't left you guys hanging. But if you didn't hear me say hello, just let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Oh, what does that say? Howdy, Brent. I enjoy the shows. Oh, thank you, Sharon. I enjoy that you're here. I enjoy that you enjoy them. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. So, all right, that is kind of the groups that are around us so far. I hope Miss Barb is okay. I hope so too. Yeah, she was on YouTube earlier. Okay, well, I mean, real life happens for all of us. So, I don't even make all the shows. So, it's my show, so I can't fault her for not being here, but I certainly miss her. She's been a wonderfully and supportive friend for a long time. A rare, wonderful soul. I've got to meet Barbara on a few shows and just have really enjoyed her company and her kindness. Just a wonderful person. All right, so let's see. What am I doing? What's my name? Who am I? What am I doing? All right, not that one. Okay, this is the one we're reading tonight. Okay, maybe we should vote. I kind of like this idea that you guys vote on which article we cover from Listverse, because there's some great articles over here. And I've just been pulling up handfuls of them. We can either do UFO kind of article from Listverse, or we can do paranormal, which is usually ghostly stuff. Most of the world considers paranormal as ghostly, which is not really true, but it's the way most people handle that term. Just means anything that's not normal. Wes is in the house. Is he really? Where is that Wes? I didn't see him pop up. I'm sporting his gear tonight. I'm sporting the gear. What did you think of the freaky videos? What's the freaky videos? Oh, I saw that you sent me those, Jose. I haven't had a chance to watch them. I'm sorry about that. It's not Brent. It's a random clip art I found on the web. Yeah, that's what he tells me. It's shocking. He found clip art that so looks like me. And so, but he says it's not me. It's not me. I'm going with that. What am I doing now? All right. So do you guys want to do something paranormal or something UFO for the article? Let's start there. Time to vote in the chat. Let me know, paranormal or UFO. What do you want to see? And I'll give you choices once we iron that down. So I want you to vote. Let's vote in the chat. Type UFO if you want UFO kind of article. I got 2 UFOs already. Okay. All right. Portal gear. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that, Karen. UFO. Oh, we've got 4 UFOs already. Kedster's going for paranormal. Maggie wants UFO. Wiley6 over on Facebook wants UFO. Let's do a comedy. That's my whole show. Unknown is me trying to do a show. That's a comedy. UFO for 420. Yeah, we're definitely, it got a few paranormals, but I think it's definitely both. That's Beth. Beth's voting both. Aussie wants a UFO. I'd vote, but I'm invisible. You're not invisible, Undead Jed. Can see you just fine. Just go ahead and vote. I can see it. What do we got? I'm tired of cryptids. 420 man from the West. Yeah, there's a lot of cryptid stuff out there on the web. That's true. I'm being contrary. D Oceans is being contrary. All right. Yeah, so I think it looks like UFO. What do we got? Got Car Juice over there saying paranormal. And so that's the only vote from Rumble regarding the kind of material we're going to cover. So I guess we're going to go UFO. Okay. definitely more UFOs. Please say hi to Bumpers, Brent. Hey, Bumpers. I didn't see Bumpers. Who is? Hello, Bumpers. I'm not seeing a name Bumpers, though. I'm missing that. I'm looking through the list here. My apologies if I missed somebody. Oh, there you are, Bumpers. Yeah. Okay. Who else thinks the recent uptick in Bigfoot sightings in Ohio could be related to meteorite strike days later in Ohio? Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't really thought about that correlation, Bumpers. That's pretty... Bumbers. I'm sorry, I'm saying bumpers. It's bumbers. I didn't really think about that correlation until just now, but that's an interesting take. Huh. Could it be just a chance? It's kind of hard to think that a celestial object coming from, the unknown reaches of the cosmos could also be synced up to Bigfoot sightings. The Bigfoot sightings were first, and then the meteorite falling from the sky was second, as I recall. But that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yep. That's an interesting. Hey, Big D says he wants paranormal. Yeah, I think you paranormal guys are outvoted for tonight. So it looks like we're gonna do a UFO story. I'll give you some options, and I'll put them up on screen because there's gonna be a few options. Holy God! Yeah, rookie mistake. I always do that. I gotta figure out a different way to do those buttons, because if I don't turn them off, they fire the next time I call up that scene. So here we are. Here's the first one. 10 truly unbelievable claims of UFO and alien encounters. That's the first option for the UFO stories. That's the first one. Number 1, 10 truly unbelievable claims of UFO and alien encounters. Number 2, top 10 craziest ancient alien theories. Well, that one might be interesting. I don't know if there's a third. Yeah, this one. All right, here's the third one. 10 UFO encounters that involve alien humanoid entities. So those are the 3 options. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Appreciate that. All right, so 10 UFO encounters that involve alien humanoid entities. That's number 3. Number 2, once again, top 10 craziest ancient alien theories. And number 1, 10 truly unbelievable claims of UFO and alien encounters. Time to vote. Somebody please count these for me. These just go too fast. The chat goes so fast. Looks like 2, 1 or 2 from Phil Funk, 3 from T-Bone. Okay. 10, 420 Man from the West. Top 10. They're all top 10s, yeah. Rachel wants to do 1. Chucky wants to do 1. Jose wants to do 1. Yeshua wants to do 1. Looks like 1 is winning. Any more? Any more votes? Undead Jed giving it a 1. He wants to hear number 1. Maggie wants to hear 1. Looks like one's gonna run away with it tonight. Looks like UFO and alien. Definitely doing UFO and alien. 3 from Shane Gord. Gotcha, Shane. Thank you. 1 from Stickolg and Sharon Sunshine 1. So looks like we're doing Article 1. I don't think there's enough votes left for anybody else to catch up. Yeah. Justin Good Earth says, ridiculous. You can't get tired of cryptids. It's true. I find it hard to get tired of cryptids. Benno wants them number 1 as well. So yeah, we're going to do number 1 then. That's the one I got up on the screen right now. 10 truly unbelievable claims of UFO and alien encounters. So here we go, folks. Buckle up. We're going in. This is written by Marcus Louth, and this is from August 12th, 2019. And again, the dates seem large, so old. It's not really. This material is always evergreen. It's always good. You could read this article in 50 years and it would still be relevant because it's marking historical precedents of events that people experience. So this is fact-checked by Jamie Frater, and again, this is from Listverse. Listverse is a cool site. Listverse.com is the website, so go over there and check it out. You'll find tons of amazing things. But here we go, number 10. George Adamski, authentic initial sighting that descended into lies. Uh-oh. I know the name George Adamski, but I don't remember the specifics. The first person on our list, which is also one of the most well-known, and at one point George Adamski was very much considered the real deal in terms of contact with extraterrestrial race. Even today, there's disagreement among UFO circles as to whether his initial purported encounters were actually genuine. Though plenty of believers in those are still sure that Adamski went on to fabricate and outright manufacture more stories, whether for money, attention, or both. True or not, beginning in November 1952, after several months of channeled directions, he would reportedly witness and capture a picture of a flying saucer shown above from his California home. By the time Adamski was making claims of trips to the moon, Venus, and various other locations in outer space, even his most ardent supporters were beginning to distance themselves. If there was any truth in the initial claims of George Adamski, it is a real shame that what appears to be obvious fabrication and outright manufacturing of events will overshadow it. And there's the image, I guess, that he captured. That's funky. I mean, it looks like something, but I don't know. It looks like something I don't recognize. Maybe like a one of the old time dentist lamps or something. I don't know. It looks wild. But anyway, there's the claims. All right, here's another one. Elizabeth Clarer conceives an alien child on another planet. She conceived or gave birth? Which is it? There's a big difference between conception and birth. Let's see what happened at around the same time that Adamski was making his claims. In the 1950s, in South Africa, Elizabeth Clarer would state not only that she made contact with an alien life form, but that she had gone to his home world and conceived a child with him. In fact, many skeptics would point out how many details of her claims were almost identical to those of Adamski. According to Clarer, she successfully called down the alien she called Akon. Akon and young Jeezy, trying to take it easy. Sorry. Yeah, it's that artist Akon, who would arrive in his scout ship. From there, they would transfer to the main mothership and then travel to Meton. I think Akon got his meat on. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist that. That was the low-hanging fruit, folks. I'm only human. I can't resist all of it. So, according to Clarer, was in the Alpha Centauri system. However, the son they conceived would remain with Akon on Meton. As you might imagine, this did little for Clarer's credibility. She would nevertheless stick to her story despite the fact that she was almost universally not believed. Okay, well, that's a tough thing. I mean, is it possible? Maybe. But that's a hell of a claim to make with absolutely no way to justify or provide evidence of that other than that's her claim. Could it be? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what's possible. I mean, certainly we've certainly heard plenty of claims of people being allegedly abducted and impregnated and then months later having their pregnancies taken, and suddenly they're just not pregnant anymore. And there's maybe some merit to that. So I guess maybe some old-fashioned loving is still in the cards for some of these extraterrestrials. I don't know. Everybody needs some good loving. Come on now. Okay. Well, I'll leave that there. I don't know. All right. Ludwig Paulmann develops friendship with race of aliens. Oh, that's cool. I think I'm glad Ludwig did, because I don't know. Sometimes I worry about them just contacting governments. It's like, I don't think they really represent us very much, but I would rather you talk to some of us instead. In the mid-1960s, German businessman Ludwig Paulmann would claim to have discovered an alien base in Brazil, and furthermore would to have established contact with its occupants. He had first made contact with one of these mysterious visitors on a Bombay, now called Mumbai, train around 1964. He began speaking with him and noticed how strange his voice was and how perfectly his white hair glowed. He would meet the same figure again later, learning that his name was, according to Pullman, Satu Ra, when he was on a business in South America, I think a business trip. In South America several years later, he would meet up with the apparent alien being once more, as well as members of his family. According to the many claims made by Pullman, is that the alien visitors were running various programs and experiments with a terrestrial fruit, which they were hybridizing at their secret bases on the planet. Furthermore, he was given a crystal ring that would glow and heat up slightly when the aliens were nearby. Perhaps one of the most outlandish of Pullman's stories, if only because of its human-like quality, is of hearing of disaster that had befallen an alien ship on another planet. One of the aliens he had been introduced to previously, named Ziti, was apparently killed. Shortly after this event, coincidentally or not, came several sightings of a large silver disc where Pullman claimed the aliens had their base. Needless to say, many of the UFO community are aware of Pullman's alleged encounter, most distance themselves from such claims. Yeah, again, because it's a fantastic claim with absolutely zero evidence. So you can't expect the average person to just jump on board. If I don't know, let's say you danced with Santa on the North Pole. Okay, well, chances are nobody's going to get on board with that. Even if you did, even if it happened, chances are people are not just going to grab onto that just because you said you did. So it's a good point. Number 7, Walter Rizzi develops telepathic abilities after a chance meeting with aliens. Yeah, I can believe that could be possible for sure. That's perhaps just by virtue of the potential that most reports of encounters and communication with aliens seems to be on a telepathic level. So if that's the case, that after you have a telepathic encounter with an alien and talking and sharing ideas like that, that after that happens, would it fundamentally change at least the way your brain works? And it's possible that it awakens something that was long asleep in all of us. And just by virtue of them talking to you, maybe it would open some doors, into a different kind of awareness. Although the details of the encounter are not particularly outlandish, there is still a persistent feeling among many in the UFO circles that a pinch of salt should perhaps be at the ready when it comes to the claim of Walter Rizzi from Bolzano, Italy, which he would make 10 years after a supposed incident in 1978. After pulling his car to the side of the road near an underpass to get some sleep, Rizzi would awaken to see a disc-shaped craft hovering near his vehicle. Even more concerning was the human entity making his way toward him. The being would communicate with Rizzi using telepathy. It is perhaps interesting to note that, similar to Pullman's story, the alien Rizzi met described how they were looking for vegetation, fruit, and minerals that are rich on planet Earth and of great value to them. In a similar manner to many sightings of the time, although we should remember that Rizzi waited a decade before speaking of the encounter. Yeah, but that's not wrong. I mean, a lot of people have encounters they've carried for decades. That's just normal. Who are you going to talk to? Especially back then. The witness would state that he was warned of an impending disaster that would affect around 80% of the planet. Yeah. Well, that's always the case. We're always balancing on a spoon here, basically. Number 6, Carol Watts learns that aliens are watching humans as they near the cosmos. Oh. Perhaps by comparison to many others on this list, the claims of Carol Watts are relatively pedestrian. However, there are many who remain suspicious, with some noting Watts' desire for financial return regarding the sightings, all of which took place over a period of 6 months during 1967 in Wellington, Texas. He would claim that to first witness a cigar-shaped craft while driving between fields and buildings on the family farm. He approached the object, which hovered low to the ground, and was asked by a voice that was neither masculine or feminine if he was willing to submit to a rigorous physical examination. I'd be like, nope. Oh, I'm going to go home now. See ya. If he passed, he would be allowed to travel with the occupants into space. Well, maybe it'd be worth it. I don't know what rigorous means. It sounds absolutely horrifying, though. Although he would initially decline this invitation in subsequent meetings, he agreed and ultimately went into space with the aliens. According to the conversation that took place during this cosmic journey, he was informed that these alien visitors would regularly come and go as they pleased from Earth, perhaps more worryingly. He was informed that many alien races in space were concerned with humanity's apparent impending arrival in the cosmos and of humans becoming a spacefaring race. Oh my God, Carol, thank you. Wow, very, very nice. Very, very nice. Ben, I like your new picture, brother. That's cool. Carol just gifted 5 memberships to the channel. Thank you so much, Carol. That's wonderful. Very, very kind. Let's see who got them. Susie Wright got one. Erica Watson got one. Congratulations to you both. Diana Marr got one, as well as Kay Christopherson got one, and Denise Vert. So congratulations, all 5 of you. You're month-long members to the show. And if you like it, you're welcome to continue. And if you don't like it, thanks for trying. Thanks for giving it a shot. Appreciate it all the same. Special thank you to Carol for making that happen. That's really, really cool. Really appreciate that. Very, very nice. All right. Here we go on to number 5. We're whittling through this list pretty closely. Pretty quickly, rather. Howard Menger meets his former lover from a past life on Venus. It's like, some of these are so far out there. It's like, wow. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay. Let's read it. According to the alleged contactee Harold Menger, he was invited aboard a UFO in the summer of 1956. He not only was taken into outer space and to the moon, but he claimed to have witnessed alien civilizations and huge structures on its surface. An already bizarre set of encounters would turn out even weirder, though, when a strange woman would attend a lecture Menger was giving on the subject of contact with, quote, space brothers and sisters, unquote. The woman's name was Connie Weber. It was Menger's belief that he and Weber had once been a couple during a past life that they shared on Venus. Oh, how sweet. Rather than leaving such a notion at that, Menger promptly divorced his wife and began a relationship with Weber. Ooh. Yeah, this went right through the logic circle into the deep end. Perhaps even stranger was a television interview he would give in 1960 in which he stated that the entire story was false. That the entire story was false. Okay. However, rather than admit that he had simply made the account up for the notoriety or even money, he stated that he was part of a top secret military experiment to test public reaction to alien contact, a claim which, like his original one, would divide opinion. Yeah, so you make some outlandish, huge claim, and then you're like, oh, never mind, I just made it up. But the truth is, I'm really working for the government. Of course you are. They love that kind of people. Luciano Galli takes a trip into space during his lunch hour. Hey, you can either hit a drive-through or head over to Venus or Uranus. Sorry, I'm an idiot with a microphone. You get what you get. There's very little filter left. In July 1957, Italian businessman Luciano Galli was returning back to work in Rome following his lunch break when a black car suddenly pulled up alongside of him. Men in black. The window wound down and a gentleman with piercing black eyes leaned out and asked Gallo, "Do you have any Grey Poupon?" No, that's not what he said. That's not what he said. If he remembered him. He asked if he remembered him. Galli was about to respond that he didn't when a sudden wave of memories washed through his mind, making him realize that he did indeed remember the strange man. He had seen him previously in the streets of Rome. The man asked Galley if he'd like to go with them. Did he offer candy at some point? Man, this is like creepy. And he ultimately got into the back of the vehicle. Wow. This is like poster children for bad choices. They would drive to the outskirts of the city where a saucer-shaped UFO was waiting for them. After they boarded, the craft shot off into the sky. The spaceship would then take them to a huge mothership, which Galley was then given a tour of, and he was ultimately returned to the spot from where he was taken. And while many would struggle to believe his account, he would claim that he didn't care what people thought. There were several similar reports around the world in 1957 that perhaps lend him a bit of credibility. I mean, is it possible? Yeah, again, who knows? If they're here, why not? If they like somebody, if they're intelligent and, I don't know, amenable to making meaningful contact, then why wouldn't they take people up? I guess it's not impossible. It's just some of those just seem to come out of nowhere. But maybe that's how it works. Hell, I don't know. All right, here we go with the next one. Hubert Lewis. No relation to Huey Lewis. Sorry. Meets aliens from Venus living among us. The Venusians are here. According to news agent Hubert Lewis in 1957, he witnessed a disc-shaped object and its occupants while cycling through the town of Church Stretton in Shropshire in order to pick up newspapers. When a tall figure appeared in the road in front of him, Lewis demanded to know who the stranger was, almost without thinking. The occupant replied that the news agent need not fear him. The two would speak for around a half an hour, the metallic disc covering the background all the while. As their conversation progressed, the wind, which had previously been relatively brisk, seemed to drop, although strangely, Lewis could still hear it. Following the meeting, Lewis claims to have developed certain psychic abilities. Furthermore, he claimed to receive visits from high-ranking police officers who would advise him to forget certain matters, advice to which he initially agreed. However, several months later, he would encounter the alien beings in their craft once again, this time in a field. He was informed he would claim that the aliens were from the planet Venus and were living in disguise among the population on Earth. Well, that's nothing new. We've heard those reports tons of times, right? I don't know. Very weird. Hoggle says, I haven't had sleep paralysis in a long time, but I was just talking to people about it yesterday, and now I had it. Yeah, sometimes we create our own reality. Bring it up. You know, the old saying, you look into the abyss, and sometimes the abyss is looking back. Careful. Just surround yourself in light before you go to bed. A bubble of light, protective light. Wrap it around you and just like a cocoon, and then go to sleep. Should help. Maybe. Sir Peter Horsley talks with an alien in a London sitting room. Sir Peter Horsley, Horsley, had a remarkable career in the Royal Air Force. Indeed, at his height, he was the Deputy Commander-in-Chief of RAF Strike Command. However, in 1997, he'd retire. He released a book, Sounds from Another Room, in which he recounted speaking with an extraterrestrial being. So now this one, I believe, he's already high up in the government and probably privy to some less known information. And maybe he would be someone that would be consulted, so to speak. Not that you got to be part of the government, but there's already long-standing claims that people have been making forever that the aliens are working with governments, or at least some aliens are. So is this possible? Yeah, maybe. Let's see what it says. I'm not familiar with the case at all, so this is brand new to me as I'm reading it. It said it was in a dark room in a London house. As a result, he was almost universally cut adrift by his military colleagues. Horsley stated that how he was invited in 1954 to meet a Mr. Janus. Is his first name Huge? or no, Hugh? I'm sorry. I'm on a tear tonight. Hugh Janus. Sorry. I just couldn't resist. It's just there. It's just there. I had to take it. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Anyway, here we go. Who would speak to the military man from the shadowy corner of the room? Horsley wrote about how he had the distinct feeling that James was able to read his mind. Furthermore, he would keep firm control of the conversation at all times. The conversation revolved around Britain's future nuclear capabilities, and Janus demonstrated an intricate knowledge of British military, as if to convince Horsley of his authenticity. It was following this meeting that Horsley began to rise rapidly in the ranks of the RAF. Whether that rise is connected with meeting with Hugh Janus is open to debate. However, despite the bizarre nature of Horsley's claims, it would be strange for such decorated individual to choose to draw attention to himself for no good reason. Yeah, I've heard there's ways to climb the ladder a little quickly. Some of it starts with a Hugh Janus. Sorry. Oh, I'm probably going to burn in hell. Anyway, I can't resist. Those are just so easy. I can only filter so much. Come on. I mean, I'm human. All right. Sorry. All right. Gosta Carlson develops pharmaceutical companies following meeting with aliens. Not just an alien, aliens. Whatever the authenticity of the claims of Swedish ice hockey player Gosta Carlson, HEI, sorry. There we go. The location of the town of Ängelholm now boasts a concrete memorial to the affair. Carlson claimed that while he was walking in the country in May 1946, he witnessed a strange saucer-shaped craft landing in a nearby field. Furthermore, the occupants of the craft ventured outside and communicated with him, even passing on natural remedy recipes. So valuable was this meeting that Carlson would go on to found 2 pharmaceutical companies. He was ultimately very successful and went on to become the owner of the first professional ice hockey team in Sweden. All of this success, according to Carlson, was down to the chance meeting with extraterrestrials that afternoon in Ängelholm. Needless to say, many people, even the UFO community, struggle to believe this story, at least in full. Whether his account is true or not, the monument is one of only 2 pertaining to UFO incidents in all of Europe, the other one being in Poland to mark the Emilisen encounter. I'm not familiar with that. Okay. There it goes. We got some more to pick from. We'll have to be careful, though, because we're going through these, and I'm not really checking to see which ones we've read and which one we haven't. So anyway, that was the article. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed hearing about Hugh Janus. I'm so sorry. I don't know what you guys think. I should probably preemptively apologize at the beginning of the show for my own stupidity throughout the course of the journey, but I can't help it. Oh, Justin Goodhart says, watch out for the Klingon circling Uranus. Yeah, they all need a good wipe, yeah. Oh, hilarious. I gotta like that. Paranormal discussions, Mickey G. Brent, don't say that. Oh, I don't know. I can't help it. It's like some things just come out, and it's hard to ignore the humor that's there. You're good. Thank you, Mickey. I appreciate that. Yeah, pretty good. 420, man from the West says it's still 80 degrees Fahrenheit in Los Angeles at 8:15. Wow, dude. I think it got up to like 60 here. I'm not sure what it got up to. I'm going to look now. Oh, wait. What was this? I got to see. What was... God bless it. The weather today... Right now it's 50 still up here in the north of Idaho. I think it got up to like 59 or something like that today. Maybe it was 50. Maybe that was as good as it got. But Seems like it should be cooling off by now. So probably got up to be like 55 or something. But it's cooling a little bit. Tomorrow's supposed to be warmer, though. I was going to look at that because it looked like it could be 60 tomorrow. Yeah, Thursday, 59. Yeah, and Friday, 56. So we're getting to that warmer weather, folks. This is where my joy increases exponentially because, man, I don't like winter. I just don't like it. I don't have any energy, but I seem to thrive off the natural ambient energy of like spring and summer when everything's alive and you can just, have shorts and a t-shirt on and be comfortable. It's like, that's where I'm happiest. Supposed to be 90 on Saturday in Kansas. Wow. It's warming up everywhere. I do too when Brent and Don get on one together. What happened? Some things are just funny. Well, yeah, when Brent and Don got on one together. What did we get on? I don't remember. It's been I'm looking for what was the first. It's a part of what makes Paranormal Portal, in my opinion. Well, thank you for that, Maggie. I appreciate that. Grandpa Winter out the door. Amen, Jose. Amen. All right. Well, we made it through that article. We've got a lot more to get to. It's going to be time for the cryptid corner because, not the cryptid corner rather, but what the hell is that? I can't wait to show you guys the article. Man, I forgot to shrink this window. Let me do that. A little smaller. There we go. All right. The cryptid corner tonight is going to be a fun one. And this is what the hell is that? This is a segment we like to call...
What the hell is that?
I should just start that way. Rather than calling it the wrong segment, I'll just run that. So... Oh, yeah, laughing, Brent. Yeah, there's been some times where I've absolutely lost it on the show. Well, the most recent one was when Sheldon showed up and he was bald. He just suddenly was bald, and he told the story of how he's gonna just run a little trim around his hair with the guide and stuff. He realized the guide wasn't there. Poor kid had to take it all down had to start from scratch. But, yeah, he can pull it off, though. He's former military. He can pull off that look. I don't think I've ever seen my scalp completely, other than through my thinning hair, I guess. But, Saturday's supposed to be 71. Wow, kitty. Wonderful. When it's cold out, it's cold in. Amen, Beth. Yeah. I need the warmth. I love summertime, but not temperatures. Yeah, but that's why God invented air conditioning. I'm just good with cranking up the AC and just... sitting around feeling all comfy and stuff. Every once in a while going outside and feeling the suck, but then going back in and like, yeah, this is nice. All right. Anyway, let's get to the next segment, which is this one. What the hell is that? Because we got a lot of ground to cover. Again, there's one in particular I'm really looking forward to going over with you guys, but we got to start this off. Whoops. What is this? What the hell just happened? There we go. Something's happening there. This is from the Haunted Hill House. Haunted Hill House is a haunted house. I think it's in the U.S. here, but they have I think feeds going all the time too. It looks like a really interesting place. I don't know. They've got a ton of claims and a lot of people going in research there, and they like book the house, and it's kind of like any number of other houses. The Boyd House in Minnesota and several others around the nation, where you can book them and go in and have investigations. Bring your team or you in concert with other teams can go in as groups and share the expense. But and then there's here where, they're hanging out where I live, so there's no reason to go anywhere. But these locations, I think, are pretty intriguing. Sometimes it's hard to believe that everything that as much as they experience could be legitimate, but I don't know. I've lived with several experiences of beings and presences, in places that I've lived. It's just a part of my adult life, several of them literally. And even in my most active homes, it wasn't like all the time. It was just some of the time. Some of the time activity would pop off. And sometimes in some locations, like this house that I owned that was built in 1894, it was a beautiful old Victorian home, but it was times of the year. It would be like pretty relaxed and mellow most of the year. But then every once in a while, it was like, I think it was mostly like late spring and maybe into summer, if I'm recalling correctly. It's been a long time now. But that was when the activity really seemed to jump up. And a lot of creepy experiences. That's where the chandelier was pulled out of the ceiling, in front of me. And that was a huge event. It's also where I was reaching down to grab a pen on the floor and it rolled away from me on shag carpeting. It's like, well, it's not just a floor. It's not just a smooth floor. It was on shag carpeting, but it was a pen that was on the floor. And I was going to go pick it up and I reached for it. And as I was about to grab it, it shot away from my hand. And I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. So, but these locations seem to cite activity like most of the time, which maybe is by virtue of them constantly being investigated. I will say that if a house is investigated actively, like if you have activity in your house and you call in a team, after that team leaves, the activity kind of goes off the charts. And that's the tough part for the people that have to live there, is they let these teams come in and do their thing and, coax and prod and ask questions and, kind of upset the equilibrium of a home, and then they leave. And then the people that live there get to deal with it as they go through this cycle of heightened activity. Well, if you have a location where there's always teams coming through, maybe that activity is really ramped up as a result. That's, the more people come in and investigate, the more it gets shook up and stays more active. So there is that possibility. But generally speaking, a lot of haunted locations are not rampantly active all the time. They might have spurts of activity on their own throughout the year, but that's cool. In any case, I don't know. It's to each his own. But I've investigated several locations and I love it. I really do. I can't wait till it warms up and Charles and I can get out again. It's just such a big part of my life, such a fun part of my life to go and just try to see this stuff happening. It happens here, but it's better when it's away from home. All right, so let's go to this video. This is from the Haunted Hill House and on Facebook, and it said something rolled the car across the table. So, and it's going to be very close to the camera. You're going to see it here in a second. Let me pull it up. I'm going to have to reframe this just a little because it's a very big video. There we go. That should work. So this is the Haunted Hill House. Check out their site on Facebook. Follow them. Go check out all the videos that they have posted. It's pretty fantastic. But let's check this out. I'm going to play this sound. Again, if there's music, I got to kill the sound, but we'll still see the activity. Apparently a car rolls up and you can be the judge. We're going to vote. Remember, throughout the course of this, what the hell is that? Everybody gets a chance to vote. 1 in the chat if you think what you're watching is real evidence. 0 in the chat if you think you're not looking at something real, that is maybe faked or embellished or whatever. And then if you're somewhere in the middle, give me a decimal. 0.5, you're maybe, maybe not, or like halfway, and vice versa if you're more believing but not quite convinced. Let's check it out. Here it is. That was the car. Good Lord. That's the car that rolled up right there.
Hey.
And they left. The one guy left first, and he goes, hey, why are you leaving? Watch it again. Guy over here with the flashlight nopes out. He's like, nope.
Hey, why are you leaving me?
So there you go. What do you think? Does that look like true evidence? Could very well be. If there's something likes to play with toys. There you go. I wish it wasn't so close to the camera. That's the only thing I wish, is that it was far away enough that we could see more of the room, or if they had a second camera pointed at this that could get it from a different angle. But what do you guys think? Time to vote. Rachel's all in on this one. Undead Jed's giving it 0.5. Amanda's Crazy Life Channel 1. Aussie Boss Tiger 1. Jose's halfway there. And we're looking at Karen Alberting halfway there as well. I like the reactions, honestly. That's the part that really kind of sells it for me. That the guy's like, nope. Vince is giving it all in. And T-Bone's halfway there. 0.75 from Benno. Hard to say, said Shane Gord. Yeah, it is. All of these are going to be gut checks, honestly, because there's so many things we can't know or investigate. Chucky's not buying this. 0.5 from Carol Pack. Yeshua's all in. Kedster's 0.5. Chucky's not buying this one at all. Sharon Sunshine 0.4. 0 minus from that Nino kind of guy. Not buying this one, eh, Nino? 0.5 from Linda. And 0 from Maggie. Not buying it either. That's why walk around with flashlight? I do. I walk around with flashlight when I'm investigating. It's like, light or not, it doesn't really affect the activity. And I'd rather not fall down on things because I tripped or whatever, trying to navigate with an LCD screen on a night vision camera. Driving, so limited response. Yeah, it's just a car moving. There's a car shadow in the center, and thought it was some figure in the driver's seat. Oh, I don't know. I can't really make out that much detail. Again, the car roof is right here, and it looks like just a white mass to me. It's so close to the camera. Were they investigating? Yeah, they were investigating. The Haunted Hill House lets people come in to investigate. So, if I'm recalling correctly, don't point the flashlight at the camera. It doesn't work. Yeah. Yep, they're investigating. So, Car Juice is giving this 0.5. Yeah, it is washed out at the bottom, Justin. It's hard to really see a lot, but you can see that this car comes from somewhere. But what we don't see is there somebody over here flicking it over? There's a lot we can't see, which is unfortunate. But, if they're being legitimate, this could be great activity, but it's so badly framed that it can't be conclusive in and of itself. So I'm with you guys. 0.5, just trusting Car Juice. Yeah. Fair enough, Justin. Yeah, I think it's good. It's, again, not conclusive, but it's something. So that's the first one tonight. Let's get to the next one. And this one is... Oh. What the hell happened? Okay, here we go. All right. It says, Hang Glider films Metapod UFO. A bewildered hang glider pilot captured the strange object while flying over Garden Ridge, Texas, and the shape looks like almost identical to Metapod. What is it? Metapod. I'm not sure what Metapod is. No wings, no sound, no clear explanation, just hovering in the sky like something out of a movie. Some think it's a drone, others say it's a weather balloon, and a few are convinced it's something else entirely. What do you think it is? Well, let's take a look. And this is coming from Unknown Phenomena Podcast. Unknown Phenomena Podcast. I'm not familiar with that, but go check them out. Give them a follow. Give them a listen. Maybe it's a great show. More power to you guys at Unknown Phenomena Podcast. Thanks for posting this. Let's take a look. I'm going to turn on the sound and go over here. Let's have a look. So, guys on a hang glider and films this strange pod-like craft. Let's see it. I don't remember looking at this one, so let's see what it is. Oh, there it is. There it is right there. Honestly, that could just be a birthday balloon, too. A little Mylar birthday balloon. Oh, he's not just hang gliding. He's got one of those backpacks with the fans on it. The engine on the backpack. I think it's paragliding, not hang gliding. Hang gliding just uses the wind currents and drifting like a vulture up in the sky, but the paragliding uses a motor on your back and you use that parachute to navigate. Could it be a UFO? Yeah, it could be, but it could also be a Batman balloon or something like that. any number of things it could be that we're not given a lot of detail, and there is no zoomed in shot to really try to look at what we're seeing here. What do you guys think? Time to vote. 0.5 from Mel WD40. 0.5 from Rachel. 0.75 from Maggie. Cadstar is not buying this one. Undead Jed's halfway there. Jose is giving it a 1. Ultralight air vehicle. I don't think it's an ultralight. It's a paraglider, I think. Ultralights actually have like a frame that they sit in. Sorry, guys, I have to take off early. Okay, Chucky, thank you for coming in, brother. 0.2 from Adventures with Beth. Not really buying this too much, but maybe. Aussie Boss Tiger is giving it a halfway. Carol Pack is giving it a 0. 0.25 from Hoggle. Yeah, that's fair. Sharon Sunshine, 0. Maybe the mate dropped a deuce in the air. What? They don't usually float. I'm just saying. Should be falling to earth if it's a deuce. T-Bones is giving it a nothing. Elaine's giving it a half. Daryl Stanley's giving it 0. Holy cow, Batman, it's the Bat Balloon. Kitty Cattywack's not buying this one. A balloon, I think, Shane says. Stakolg gives it a 0. Yeshua, a 0. Yeah, I don't think there's enough really to get real conclusive on this. Karen Alberting, 0. Amanda, 0. Yeah, I think it's funny. 0.25 from Justin Goodearth. Very balloonish. Yeah, I would agree. And Car Juice is giving it 0.25 as well. I mean, it's certainly not making a noise, but balloons don't either, you know. And it could be a character balloon. It could be just a normal Mylar balloon. I don't know. Could be anything, and that could just be getting carried on wind currents. It's not like it's shooting by at excessive speed. It just looks like it's gliding by. And remember, the paraglider's in motion too. So his motion is compounding the motion of this thing. And he's turning into it kind of right here, but we really don't get to see any kind of detail. And then it's gone behind him, and then he turns, and it's so far in the distance, but again, he's been moving away from it now, and now he's turning to move back towards it as it continues to drift. So nothing really to substantiate any kind of powered flight on this thing. It just seems to be floating on an air current. I think it probably is a balloon, honestly. I think it is. Thank you, Justin, for the dashes. That does help, brother. Yeah, Car Juice can't really see most of these. Yeah, this one is a little tough, and there's not much to see here. It's just that little blob on the screen that drifts by. So there's that. Let's check out the next one. And this one is... Oh, here we go. Gotta wait for it. Let me pause this. So this one's from Squatch Watchers on Facebook. And it's interesting. It just kind of came out of nowhere. But it says, suspicious Sasquatch watches utility worker clear woods on strategically placed trail cameras. So for some reason, they strategically placed trail cameras to watch the workers work, I guess. But they end up catching something else. So let's take a look at this one. Again, Squatch Watchers is the channel that posted this. Let's have a look. There it is. Some kind of, bulldozer backhoe thing. Right out of Temu or something. You ever see those little backhoes you can get on Temu? They look kind of fun. I'd love to have one in the backyard just to dig stuff for the hell of doing it. But anyway, let's check out the video, see what you guys think. I'm going to turn on the sound, but I'm going to turn it way down because a lot of these are obnoxiously loud. Here we go. Let's take a look. Squatch Watchers. Obviously, I guess we're going to be paying attention to the background. Oh, they have a different camera angle. Did you see that? That's kind of interesting. How did we get a whole different camera angle suddenly? And another different camera angle. I guess that's it right there. Looks big. I'll give it. Looks big. Suspiciously several camera angles, which is weird. Yeah, I don't know. Bigfoot's brave. I think they are, though. I think they're fascinated by what we do. I really do. I don't think that's unusual that they will come and watch something going on that's outside of the norm, just to see what it is. I think they're very, very curious creatures. Yeah, and there it is. I don't know. Could that be real? It looks
is
huge.
Is this really Bigfoot or is it BS? You decide in the comments.
Bigfoot or BS? Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, let's weigh in on it. What do you guys think? You think that's real? Might be. Might be. Peaks and hides. Yeah. I mean, it's Curious George. Yeah, exactly. Amanda's giving it a 1. The noise. Yeah, that's the backhoe. 0.86 from Aussie Boss Tiger. Yep. T-Bone's giving it a 0. 0.5 from Maggie, so 0.5. Jose's giving it 0.5. 0.9 from Aggravated Progressive. Undead Jed's giving it, what did you give it? 0. 0.4 from Sharon Sunshine. 0 from Shane. Ishua's giving it 0.5. And 0 from Rachel. It's probably his wife. I know he's not at work. Oh, he's at work. You never know. Could be. Let's see what we got here. 0. It's a hoax. Who has 3 cams filming a dig job? Yeah, that's a big take for me too. It's like, how do we get all these camera angles? That's a little bizarre. That's a lot of trail cameras pointing at one guy digging a hole. That seems excessive. It really does. Too many camera angles. Doug Digger says 0.25. Car Juice is giving it 0.5. Yeah. I mean, the figure looks big. It really does, but the multiple camera angles to me are really bizarre. Like, I don't understand that at all. Now, granted, this is probably doing some extraordinary cropping of the video in order to get it in this portrait format, but it's still very different camera angles. It's not like just a pinch of a huge camera angle. It's like several different camera angles. So I think that is very suspect. I can't imagine anybody placing 3 or more trail cameras to look at one guy digging a hole. It's a good point, Justin. Yep. Very good points. But there you have it. Must be the UK. I don't know. Maybe. The movement of it seemed odd. I mean, it's not that it absolutely couldn't be real. It's just that there's a lot of questions to the authenticity of what we're viewing here when you have all these camera angles and one guy digging a hole. So good takes, everybody. Yeah, I can see it now. Good catch, Elaine. What did you say, Elaine? What did Elaine say? I missed it. I'm looking for my mouse here so I can scroll. Yep, Elaine, good eye. What is the good eye? What is Elaine seeing? Where is it? I'm looking for what Elaine might have said, but I don't see it. I might have missed it. I gotta look. Ben, indeed. Brent is lucky we're on the case. Rachel. Absolutely. What did Elaine say though? I'm missing that. Scrolling. I'm just not seeing. Oh, Elaine. Video didn't seem fluid. It's jumpy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. And I think it's, a collection of different angles, and it's just very suspect for that reason. Bigfoot wasn't fluid. Yeah. Let's watch as it moves. I just want to watch focusing on the motion of the Bigfoot. Oh, well, yeah, those are clips. Why did they clip that? That's right. Why did they cut it and then jump it again? That's a good point. Why? That is a good point. Yeah, good eye. Yep. It is cut for some reason there, and that doesn't make sense. Why did they cut it as it was leaning out and then it's suddenly out further? Like, yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Good eye, everybody. Good eye. You guys are catching it. Lane Clifford's giving it a 0. All right. Got a couple more. We're going to get to the one Rachel sent me at the end here because it's extra creepy. It's extra creepy. We want to make sure they were doing what they were supposed to be doing, if that makes sense. Yeah, I can believe that. I mean, some people need a little bit more watching than other people, but yeah, I think one camera could have seen whether or not he was running that claw or not. Is he working? Yes. Okay. Paycheck approved. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, Let's go to the next one. This one is a photo, folks, and this is coming from Grime Goodbye Transformations. I don't know how Grime Goodbye Transformations equates as a paranormal repository, but it is today. It sounds like a Scrubber ad kind of thing. But anyway, it says Steph Bailey shared this photo by saying, my gran and papa's old house stairs. This photo was taken by my uncle in my gran and papa's old house. My little cousin, whilst very young, kept coming up to the bottom of the stairs and seemed very interested and was engaging a lot. So my uncle took a picture, and this was the outcome. No edits or anything. Real original picture. 100%. My gran did lose a child whilst living in this house over many years, and I'm wondering if you think this may be said child. But the child lost was a miscarriage, so I'm a bit confused. Can spirit age, or is this someone from a time before? In all the years I was in this house, the stairs always made me feel uneasy. I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts. Thanks in advance, from Steph. So Steph apparently wrote into Grime Goodbye Transformations and posted this picture. So here's the picture. And we can zoom into this, so I will zoom in as much as the Facebook allows. And let's take a look. Obviously, this is the small child on the stairs. Allegedly. I'm seeing something right now that makes me a little less comfortable with this. It could be just by happenstance with this weird, bizarre 70s pattern on the rug, or 60s or 70s pattern on the carpet. But there does seem to be a dark outline following the hem of the skirt and around the sides. And that to me looks like a paste job or a layered image. Not that it has to be, because it's not unlike several of these other ones, and they could just line up perfectly for the shot for some reason, but it does seem suspect. That obviously is a little child wearing some kind of bonnet and, I don't know, a little white night dress or something. I don't know why she would have a hat on, or spring dress, and then appearing to wave. Is it a waving hand or just a weird stain on the wall? I don't know. But looks like she's holding on to the railing or something there. What do you guys think? Double exposure, maybe? Yeah, it could be Aussie. Could be. What do you guys think of this one? Let me know in the votes. Time to vote. 0, I think it's double exposure. Aussie says. Karen Alberding, nope. 0.2 from Beth. 0 from Kedster. And we got 0.5 from Benno. Creepy again. The face is odd. Oh my god. I don't know. 0.1 from Aggravated Progressive. Double from Stikolg. I don't know if that's 0.2 then. Undead Jed gives it a 0. 0.5 from Rachel and T-Bone. Yeshua's giving it a 0, as is Sharon. 0.2 from Brent Van Hollen. 0.5 could be, Elaine says. Yeah, it could be. 0 from Hoggle. Nate's just smiling. He's happy to be here. Happy to have you here. 0 from Amanda's Crazy Life channel. 0.5 from Hooking Good Creations by Tina. And Drake's 411 gives it a 0. What do we got over here? Carjuice is giving it a 0.5. 0.25 from Dog Digger. And 0.25 again. Yeah, I knew that's what you meant, brother. I knew the point was just a formality. Ram Jam recorded a Semskunch. That's Aggravated Progressive. That Nino kind of guy, spot on. Double exposure, it's a photograph. Yeah. Hi, Nathan. Carpet doesn't match the walls. Yeah. The 70s were a sick time for fashion and for color palettes. I grew up in the 70s, and the crap we wore, thought it looked good at the time. But I was a little kid. I wasn't really fashion conscious then, but looking back at old pictures now, it's like, oh my God. What, that terry cloth and corduroy jeans and stuff is like, oh my God. Yeah, it was a fashion nightmare in the 70s. Big collars, bell bottoms, all that crap. Nothing matched in the 70s. That's true, Beth. You're right. So, my uncle's garage band. But anyway, there we go. 0.5 from Justin Goodearth. Better than most ghost picks. Yeah, that's that's true. I mean, is it possible it's real? Yeah, it is. It could be, but it does seem a little suspect that the dark border that just totally mimics the edge of the hem of the dress is really kind of screaming at me, but it could just be happenstance. I don't know. There you go. Paisley everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. Not opposed to a good, tasteful paisley, but this is not that. This is not tasteful paisley. This is the 70s screaming. And that lime green, putrid lime green walls. And the off-white, eggshell white railings. It's like, man, this is a tragedy of interior design on biblical proportions. Somebody should get slapped for this. But just saying, anything goes in the 70s. Yeah, it was a horrible time for fashion. But there you have it. All right, one more to go, folks. This is the one Rachel sent me. This is the one that absolutely creeps me out. So I don't know what the story is. This is a wax copy. It comes from Strange Dark World on Instagram, Strange Dark World. And I'm here to tell you this video is really creepy. You're going to have to wait for it. Watch it. Just keep watching the head of this figure, this wax figure that's sitting there in front of a display. I'm sure is talking about her life and what she did. I don't know who she is, because it's all written in Spanish, and I'm not fluent in Spanish, so I can't read it and say what it is. However, this figure does something that just about made me jump a little. So thank you, Rachel, for sending this. This is one that kind of haunts my days. All right, here we go. This is the figure. This is the video. And man captures wax figure moving. You look in the eyes of this wax figure, and you I swear to God, it's looking back. Now, wax figures are exceptionally detailed, and the people that do them are exceptionally talented. But I don't know what the hell's going on here. You just watch, and you be the judge. This one's freaky. Here we go. I kind of got to minimize that a little bit. I'm going to get hit for the music. The music's not really important. I'm just going to leave it like this. Again, this is going over this woman's life, whoever she is. I imagine she was some sort of saintly figure who did a lot of good things. Look at those eyes. Looks like she is just pissed. And the thing is it doesn't follow you. Like the eyes on some of them, they seem to follow you. But this one, look at that. What the hell was that? Are you freaking kidding me? No kidding. Are you kidding me? Did you guys see it? Jesus. It's like, oh, that is definitely something going, what you looking at? And it moves it just to really get you. Little twist of the head. Just a little twist of the head. Yeah, that's not cool. You're right, Drake. That is freaky as hell. Look at that little twist. What the hell? I don't know how wax figures are made. I don't know if those heads are hinged and they can do that. But that is freaking twisted, man. That is really twisted. I mean, she looks pissed anyway. She just looks not happy to be there. But then if she's looking at you and turns her head, are you kidding? I'm fascinated with this one. How does that work? I mean, is there some meteorological explanation for like moisture in a joint or hinge or whatever? I don't know, but at the time they're filming, that head shifts just a fraction of an inch. But it's enough to let you know, yeah, I'm here. Or whoever's here. Not that it's the woman herself, but like somebody's hanging out in her wax figure. It's just bizarre. Let's watch it again, just because it's so creepy. Look at that head. shifting, little shift, just a little tilt. And the guy's real upset about it too. I want to, when the thing comes up, I want to play the sound so you can hear the person's reaction. So I'm going to watch for the red arrow. The guy's disturbed by that too. When the red arrow comes up, I'm going to put the sound back on. And now, look at those eyes.
I call this.
Enrique Pedro?
Look at that. No. Oof. There you go. Time to vote. What do you guys think? 1 from Undead Jed. She's smoking a spleef. Number 1 from Kedster. Anybody up above? Yeshua's giving it a 1. Ventures with Beth is a 1. 1.11 from Aggravated Progressive. Mel WD40 is giving it a 1. Karen's giving it a 1. Jose giving it a 1. T-Bone 1. 1.1 from Benno. It's Alive 1. I've always been fascinated with this one. Supernatural Station. Rachel gives it a 1. Yeah. Daryl Stanley's like, wow. I know, it's disturbing as hell. Really crazy. What do we got down below? Anybody else? 0.5 from Sharon Sunshine. Niders did Linda. Thank you for coming in. She wasn't taking it during her lifetime from anyone, and she's not taking it now. Yeah. I'm hoping this is a 0 because that's creepy. Me too, honestly. Gollum. She made me leave her daughter alone. What? What is that? I don't even know what that means. Even her earrings shifted. Yeah, you can see that the motion was legit. It wasn't just somebody tweaking the image. Yeah. Oh, is that what he said? I didn't know what he said. Supernatural Station 1, Rachel 1, Shane 1, 0.5 from Hoggle, Brent Van Hoen, 8.8 rather, Elaine Clifford 1, Finger Red number 1 from Carol, 1 from Daryl, 1 from Aussie Tiger, 0.75 from Kitty Caddywhack. Drake gives it a 1. You're right about earring, yeah. All right, so looks like they're filming with a phone. If it's fake, it's because it's not wax, but a live human posing. Yeah, I don't think it's that. I think she is absolutely solidly still. But I mean, when they're right in line with those eyeballs, you swear something's looking at you. And granted, that's what they're supposed to get to with these wax figures. It's supposed to be absolutely lifelike. But when her head turns, 0.25 from Carjuice. For me, 0 AI. I don't think so. Maybe. I mean, it's not impossible, but I don't think so. I think this is legitimate. Could it be? Sure, it could be. I can't say it's not for sure, but I don't think so. Kitty, I know you would. It's one of the Whitakers. It's one of the Whitakers? Oh, okay, that was ultra creepy. Yeah, there you go. I saw that when Rachel sent it to me. I'm like, oh my God. Yikes. Thank you for that submission, Rachel. That one is extra creepy. Yikes. There you go. All right, let's get back to here. That was the last one for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed that. This has been a presentation of...
The hell is that?
The hell is that? Remember, after the show, folks, you can hang out for 3 more hours of the paranormal with our wonderful friend, Mr. Dave Scott, over on Spaced Out Radio. Check him out. Susie Wright's giving that a 1, too. Yeah, I think so. I think it's real. I do. I don't want it to be, honestly, but it's one of those that it feels wrong as well as looks wrong. Like it just on an emotional level, like, no. So that's my take. Not that makes me right. Everybody's opinion is just as valid as anyone else's. So go head over to Spaced Out Radio after the show. My prayer, please, after the show. Oh, you want what? You have a prayer? You need a prayer? Send in your prayers if you need a prayer for sure. Yeah, it's isolated events that seem authentic. Right, yeah. No, you can't be done. I just got here. Oh, BJ, I'm sorry, but I only have so much show in me. My gas tank runs pretty quickly empty. Thanks, Brent. Good night, everyone. Yeah, I was going to try to do the cryptid corner, but we didn't have any time after that walk through the what the hell is that? But we'll get the cryptids on Friday. Give them a good dose of cryptids with Sheldon. and we'll continue the journey then. But I guess that's going to about do it for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for being a part of the journey. I think I'll read you one from the Cryptid Corner, because I know you guys are getting ripped off on the Cryptid Corner all the time. So here we go. It's time to enter the dark spaces in search of the Cryptid Corner. Boom, baby. All right, Cryptid Corner, last one, because I started late. I just realized that I can't leave you without one cryptid. So here we go. I got to move this over for the Chronicles. This is Sasquatch Chronicles blog, ladies and gentlemen, SasquatchChronicles.com. Good Lord, what did I do? What did I do? I don't want to do that. Don't ever do that. Ever. There we go. Let's check it out. Good night, Shane. Good to have you here, brother. Thank you. All right, March 18th. We're going to March 18th from Sasquatch Chronicles blog, which is today old. A listener writes, longtime listener of your podcast, a buddy of mine caught this last night on his trail cam. Turn up your volume and listen at the end. It was recorded in north central Minnesota. It could just be a bobcat, but it sounds different to me. What are your thoughts? I believe Bigfoot is definitely a possibility. I believe I saw the orbs one night after I shot a deer. I don't know what else it could have been, and I'm baffled by what I saw. I thought it was a headlamp coming through the woods, but no one was attached to it. Very interesting experience. Anyway, let me know what you think. Well, here it is. Wes posted it over on his YouTube. Let's have a listen and see what it sounds like. Oh. Listening careful. I wonder what that steam is from. Just fog, or is that from heat? Well, that was interesting. One more time. Yeah, that's a little crazy. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that. I mean, it sounds like it could be squatchy. What the hell is that? Yeah, that's a great question. I'm not sure. Anybody's guess, but there you go. Could be the real thing. All right, we can do one more. Let's see one more. What was that one? I think I was a little early. Is this it? Yeah, that's the one we just did. Okay. Oh, this is the YouTube. Yep. All right. What do we got for this one? How long is it? Not too long. We'll do this one too. March 17th. In the trail was a large dark figure. A listener writes, hey, Wes, I was wondering if you've heard of any sightings reported near Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Recently, about 2 weeks ago, my girlfriend and I were driving down a forest trail and experienced something we still can't explain. We passed a walking trail that led deeper into the woods and thought we saw something, so we stopped to take a closer look. Standing in the middle of the road, or the trail, was a large, dark figure. It was hard to tell exactly how tall it was, but I'd estimate somewhere between 6'5" and 7'5". We couldn't make out any clear facial features, and I had this strong, uneasy feeling that something wasn't right. We stayed there for a few minutes watching it, and it didn't move at all. Eventually, we decided to leave. On our way back, I checked to see if it was still there, but it was gone. The feeling of being watched stuck with me until we were completely out of that area. Have you heard of anything like this happening around here? And if so, are these kinds of encounters known to be dangerous? Honestly, it shook me up pretty bad, and I've been nervous about going back into the woods since. Sorry for the long message. I just wanted to share what happened and see if you come across anything similar. Yeah, it sounds like any number of other reports, that are very similar. Something step out, it just, I don't know, draws. this really uncomfortable feeling of unease and fear, and then it shadows you out. Now, they didn't really talk about it shadowing in the audio sense, like, oh, we could hear it stepping. When I stepped, it stepped. That is very common. When I stopped, it stopped. But it seemed like the person had the sense that whatever it was definitely keeping an eye on them. So very common behavior, actually. And they made it. It's not like anything happened, thank God. But that's got to be terrifying. However, that's going to do it for the journey tonight. Thank you all for being a part of it. And thank you for all the love and support. Thank you for Carol, for the gifted memberships. I really appreciate that. Thank you for all the love and kindness. And if you like this show, please hit the like on your way out. I'd appreciate that. And I'll be back on Friday and Saturday nights as well. Every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, we do these live shows. So it's always 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. So I hope you guys will join us for the next one. But that's it for me tonight. You guys take care. Love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day and remember to laugh as much as you can. Good night, everybody. Cue the credits.